Okay, this is proving harder to do again. I keep yawning. I mean, am I boring myself? Anyway, this is Jace. So, it's Tuesday. It's officially the end of week 10. You'll be glad to know there isn't any other videos. I've not made any. I didn't feel like I needed to. I didn't want to. The week's gone by really quickly. There's nothing really exciting to report. Well, maybe a little bit. I bought some more clothes. I saw one of those adverts for this dress. I was like, oh, and then I saw the name. I went, oh, I wonder if they have their own website. And they did. And then I went on that website and I thought, what's their plus size stuff? And then had a sale. So I bought 2 pairs of leggings and this really freaky, like, alternative top. And the back is like mesh with skull patterns on it. And on the front, it's like an asymmetrical tunic thing. It's like, oh, that'd be so cool if that fits me. And if not, then, you know, in about 3 weeks when I've got more weight coming off me, then that's great. It's a bonus. So 3 of the 4 things turned up today and I tried them on and they fit. And I was really surprised. But I also checked myself out. I've been doing that all day. I would check myself out in the mirror. I thought, hey up, my boobies are a bit smaller. They're never gonna be normal size, but I noticed they are less, and I can feel less. The scales aren't telling me I've dropped any weight, really. It's going up and down. It's going like 120, goes down to 119.3 or 119.5, and then it'll go back to 120. I still am a bit constipated. I haven't been drinking enough water because look, there's water retention there. But ultimately, I'm feeling fine. I mean, I spent some time in the shed the other day, putting my motorbike back together. But then yesterday I went to the gym, and I was supposed to go to my friends afterwards and help her decorate. And I got to the gym, and I'd had breakfast, and I'd had a protein shake before I left, so I had like some good stuff in me, giggity. And and I got to the gym and I didn't do what I would normally do. I did less, and I just was bored, and it didn't interest me. I had good music on in my ears. I was like, normally be like, yeah, and you go, nothing. I just was not interested in being there at all. But I carried on all the way through, and then I noticed my back was twinging, and I was thinking, oh, just God's sake, because this since I had this procedure, I've essentially had a period for over a month. There's only been about 5 days where I haven't required sanitary products. And as somebody who hasn't, according to my Fitbit, had a period for over 900 days, it's very fucking annoying. And so I'm feeling my back twinging, and I'm feeling tired, and I'm feeling gripey, and I'm thinking, this is like a fucking period. So yeah, let's call it, I'm menstruating for a month, and it's just sad. But I'm not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be done and dusted with that now. So I've got to follow it up with the clinic and find out, and they'll probably say it's all normal. That it takes a little while for your body to settle down after having a camera shoved up the fanny. But who fucking knows? I don't. But it's irritating because it's really affected my energy levels. It's like really if people who menstruate, if you've menstruated, you'll relate. You're drained. You're tired. You get desires to eat certain foods. So yeah, I went to the gym. Went to my friends. Ended up doing some of the bits and pieces. She hasn't got a car at the minute because it's broken. So took her shopping and stuff. And I was like, do you want to do this? It was only like a little tiny hallway. She goes like, nah, I can't be bothered. I was like, me either. I can't be fucking bothered. And then I got home about 8:20. And on the way home, I thought, I've had a bowl of porridge a fucking milkshake and I'm hungry and I need to eat something, because what happens is I'll go home and I'll look in my fridge and there won't be anything in it that I want, even though there's loads of really good stuff in my fridge. And then I won't eat anything, and then it'll get to midnight and I wouldn't have had my dinner, and then I'll eat something and then I'll feel bad because I've eaten at midnight and I didn't want to eat at midnight, but I needed to because I was hungry and there's like 1,200 calories left to use, so, or something like that. And I thought no, so I really wanted something salty because of the menstruation. You know, you want certain things, carbs, you want dirty carbs, that's what you want. So when I went shopping, I said to my friend, fuck it, I'm just going to go home, bleed and eat cake. That's what I'm going to do, because that's the mood I was in, right? My back was twinging on the treadmill, and it wasn't like I pulled a muscle. It was, I need to get a hot water bottle kind of backache. This is all too much information. And you know what? I don't care. I haven't done a video this week. I have to endure it. So yeah, when in Aldi they do like a Black Forest Gatto, and you think, oh yeah, usually they're the big ones like that. You get the small ones, don't you? Like £2 or something. Well, this is like in a foil. It's only that high. It's like a inch and a half high Gatto. It's very thin, and I thought, oh, yeah, and me and Aaron, my son, will share that because he likes Black Forest Gatto. So the idea was I was going to defrost it, and he was going to have half, and I was going to have half. So essentially, half is like 1/4 slice of a normal one, yeah. So it was frozen when I got home. On the way home, I got a double cheeseburger and some small fries, and I really enjoyed those. But it was just enough food to fill me up. I didn't want anything else. So then a few hours later, this thing's defrosted, and I've just beaten it a little bit away with a teaspoon and went off. I wrote this epic letter last night. So then next thing I know, it's like fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've spent the entire night wide awake writing this kick-ass letter. And then there's a really good thing on Word where it reads it back to you, so you can you know when you type things and you miss words, you might have spelt it wrong, it reads it out, right? It's a standard thing on Word, and it's like, yeah, this is really good. And then I had to add it to an email, and there was text that had to be put in there, and then there was things that had to be downloaded. Apparently I went to sleep at 6:30 this morning. But also the red alert for the aurora was going off all night and all day, but you can't see it in the day because the ultraviolet light. And it was cloudy, of course. So every now and then I'd get this like ping. I'd go out front and the back, get my camera, point it to the sky to see whether I could pick any of it up. And no, there was a very light hint of a colour, but there wasn't anything noteworthy. So yeah, it was just like a mad hyper focus for about 6 hours last night. This is a 3-page letter. It kicks fucking ass. It's a legal thing. So yeah, it's yeah, it was a real fuck you and the horse you rode in on, and your little dog. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, during the after when I got home and it defrosted, I ate this little Black Forest Gatto. I ate half. I thought, all right, and I logged it. I definitely logged it, and I logged everything I ate, and I was still under calories. And then this morning I woke up, and I had only had 6.5 hours sleep. And I got woken up, and I thought, no, I'm not going back to bed because I want to do stuff today. I've not done stuff today. I've just been, well, I say that, I have done stuff today. I should need to stop doing that. I don't feel like I've done stuff today, but I have done stuff today. I sorted out some of my son's bedroom. And if you've seen my son's bedroom, that was quite an achievement. I have done laundry, hung up the laundry, dried some laundry, and then it started raining, so my plans to go out in the garden were scuppered. I watched 2 episodes of Stanley Tucci in Italy doing the tour around with food. really good. It's on Disney. I just loved watching all that stuff Italian, because I've got Italian heritage. That's why I'm doing all this with my hands. So it was really interesting to see, and he seems like somebody I'd really enjoy sitting down and talking to. I've always liked his acting. I've always thought he was a great character. And yes, I've done that, and I've pottered around. I unpacked my new Ninja food processor, and it's got like these thingies we can make protein shakes and milkshakes and smoothies and things in it. It's like, yes. So yeah, I got that out. So it's like new toy. And then compared to my old one, which was like a 40 quid Kenwood, which was got blunt blades and everything, it was like, yay. It scratches the itch. It's the whole the desire to buy things, and then when you get them, it's like the novelty's worn off. But also I had to waiting for deliveries, so of course I knew you get a time slot, and I didn't want to jump in the shower because I knew the moment I got in the shower that door was going to go, and they don't hang around. I thought, right, okay. So the clothes that I'd ordered from this alternative website, and I'd seen the advert pop up on another website, and I thought, oh, I don't know that name. So I googled the name, I found out the name of the brand, and I went to their website and ordered directly. I was like, yay. And I thought, right, well, those sizes are smaller than what I would normally look for, because they wouldn't do, I'm going to say my size. I'm a size 22. But I ordered the next size down, and they turned up today, and they fucking fit. So I haven't gone down a size. They're not super loose, but they're not really tight either. They are comfortable, and there's enough giving them that, you know, I can get away with it, but also they're not too big for me. When I lose more weight, I can wear them for a while, and they were in the sale, so that's a bonus. What are you doing? Why do I want your bum in my face? Am I really that dull? Is this what's going on? Cat bum? Somebody's farted. It's disgusting. Is that you? I guess the small one. It's the little one. It's always a stinky one. I don't want to tail. Piss off. Bugger off. Yeah, so it's good. The clothes fit. And I also noticed my boobs have got a little bit small. And I was like, my boobs are shrunk. Fucking hell. So yeah, my bras are really coming to the end of their life now. Unfortunately, that's just the joys of having huge tits. So I will be looking to get them properly sized up again, and that's not that method, as in with a tape, you know. And you see, but it did make me giggle earlier. I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to once upon a time I weighed my boob on the kitchen scale just to see how much I weighed, and it was over a kilo. I think it was about 1.5 kilos each, and mind you, that doesn't include everything. And since then, obviously gravity's done its work a bit more, but I'm wondering when I'm sitting there measuring my thigh and my waist, whether I should weigh my boob and see how much they reduce in weight. No one else does that on their fucking Mounjaro videos, do they? I'm not going to show you it. It'll be fucking funny, wouldn't it? Weight loss wise, it's dipped up and down all week because I work out the average. So the average has stayed the same weight as last week. It's showing that I've probably lost 500 grams or something like that. One day it's 119.5 and then 120.5, and then it fluctuates literally every single day. I'm still not going to the toilet properly, so I think that contributes. I think I have got a bit of water retention going on. I think with all this, obviously this menstruation has affected it as well. But I feel it. I feel it on the tops of my legs. I feel it on my bum. I feel it on my boob. I can see it in my face. I can see that on my fucking bingo wings. So I can see there is more has come off than what the scale is telling me, which is why it's important not just to go by the scales. Did I tell you what I had for breakfast? I told you about the this is when my brain's fried. I told you about the black forest gatto that I had essentially for dinner last night. Well, I had the other half for breakfast, and I don't fucking care because I'm bleeding and eating cake, and that is the mood today. So yeah, I started the day off having not had enough sleep, all discombobulated because I went to bed at fucking sunrise instead of earlier. But the thing is, that was, if I had left that letter, it wouldn't have got done, because that's the other thing, is that when you break your focus from something, it's really hard to go back to it. So I just have to ride that wave of creativity. That's all it is. And in this way, it was a fuck you. And the horse she rode in. And the little dog. Oh, she says getting up. I am so tired. But you watch, I'll probably end up having a really late night again. So I went and got one of them crappy engraving pens, right? It was like £4. I thought, oh, I'm gonna give that a go. And you get these things with it. It's like, oh, that looks like, oh, yeah. Have I gone for a battery or two? And not in the fun way. So, as you know, I'm going away to compete. So that's the first one. They're not finished yet. We got that one, which is, you can see it in the light, in a certain light. Yeah, there you go, like that. And then that one's this. Hang on, what's this one? I haven't finished this one yet. This is one I'm working on. So that one says fuck, and it will say it. Is the other one gone? There's 4. Oh, there it is. And then this was when I started. You could just sort of see where it started to score. There you go. So there's 4 axe heads. I have got a Dremel, and it's got these little, you know, the ends on them, the tips. And for 20 years I've had this fucking Dremel, and I've never used those. I was like, oh, why not just go get? I thought, no, don't get the Dremel. Don't get the Dremel, because I mean, this is the state. But at the moment, I have been working. That's just boxes, empty boxes. I've been working my way through the piles of crap, and believe me, it's less. I had to put the washing in because it was raining. But I have been working through it. Oh, and I listed. I had a whole afternoon of listing all of those Jack Reacher books on eBay. No one asked you. Oh, what else did I do? I put some pictures up on the wall yesterday, which seems like no big deal, but they've been sitting on top of the fish tank for about 6 months, and I hadn't put them out. So yeah, I'm getting there. I'm working it out. I mean, I've had that food processor has been in the kitchen in its box for about 2 weeks, and I only just took it out yesterday. So you see what I mean? It's the thrill of buying the thing, and then that burns off, and oh my god, that's like 19 minutes. Anyway, so yeah, I think you can actually see in my face that I've lost weight. I might actually start weighing my boobs. I am going away in, what are we on today? Today is Tuesday the 3rd. So 1, 2, 3 fucking weeks. I'm not going to be tracking in those 3 weeks I'm away. Already today I couldn't be bothered really to do it. I still haven't hit my calories in spite of eating that thingy. But also there was some pate that was half price, and I very, very, very rarely buy pate. So it was a gorgeous crusty bread with some pate and very thinly sliced tomatoes with some of the garlic salt that I made from, you know, wild garlic, or Ransom's as otherwise known. Where I saw this thing where you dry it out with a load of salt, and then you blitz it, and like, then you can crumble it on stuff. This is Stanley Tucci's fault, because like I was watching all this beautiful food that he was eating in Italy all around, and it was like, oh, I've not been to Italy, and then it's made me want to have a look. But there's that huge box there is all of my family's photographs, and you see out there, those two there are 2 Edwardian photo albums that were my nan's of my paternal side of the family. So they go back, I think they go back to like 1700s or something like that. But yeah, so cool. But it would be really nice to go to Italy. But it's on my list. It's on my list to do. This week I've got... my hair's getting cut off on Thursday. Let me look at the state of it. It wasn't even that long ago I had it dyed, yeah? And this is what happens to it. It's so badly damaged, which is what that letter was about. And then I've got a biker rally this weekend, which I'm going to in my car, because my bikes aren't ready. And also, I can't get camping stuff on my motorbikes. There's not enough room. I'll bore you with the details. But I did actually spend the night in, not the whole night, but I spent until a good 12 o'clock at night in the shed. But yeah, if you're looking like even down, it's like, you can see, I've still got obviously this jiggly neck here, but you can see, look, there's definitely less. And because I started to like what I see in the mirror, I'm smiling more. Look at the eyes. Smiling more. I just would like to stop bleeding. Would be really cool. But hey, it's the joys of being a woman, especially a woman in my age. There's always more cake, and do you know what? There's nothing wrong with bleeding and eating cake. Everything in moderation. Cake, that is. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm fucking off. That's 22 minutes. I might just do this as a video on its own. Did I say about the weight? Yeah, so the weight hasn't really changed. Although I can see it has changed. But then that'll probably just drop off in a couple of days. It's just the way it goes, really. That's why it's good to have a look at the average over the week. I think it's saying I lost about 500 to a kilo, 500 grams to a kilo, which is nothing to be sniffed at. You know, that's 2.5 pounds or something like that. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Feeling good. No side effects other than constipation. I'm just bored with stuff at the moment. I just want to get on with things, and then I've got things going on. But yeah, this is all getting fucking cut off. Fucking had it. It's doing my head in. Anyway. Love you, bye. Today's Tuesday, the 10th of June. I had to look. It is the end of week 11. These videos are getting less and less, you'll be glad to know. What happened this week? Well, this week, the washing machine broke, which resulted in me having to try and fix it and doing lots of YouTube videos, yay for YouTube, to find out the diagnosis, you know, what sort of things could it be. Kept getting a fault code. It says that the drain was blocked, or it could be the filter. Obviously I keep that regularly clean, so I thought, well, my son's sloppy, he puts tissues in his pockets and all sorts, and I end up washing it. So I checked it all again, had to manually drain it. All the washing's inside. My son goes away to America in a week, and so I'm starting to do all this like prep stuff, because God forbid he does it, you know, mum woes. Anyway, so instead I'm manually draining the washing machine. Like, this is Thursday night. I'd just done a radio show. It was about 11:30, and yeah, it was, fuck's sake. Next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I suddenly realised that I was supposed to be getting up in the morning, going to town quickly to get some bits and pieces, and then putting stuff in my car, and then going away for the weekend to enjoy myself with my friends at a biker rally. It's the only one I go to anymore, and it's the one I'm really looking forward to. It was going to be 200-mile drive, and you know, it was with good company. I was really looking forward to it. But also, on top of all that stuff, and my son wasn't going to be at home at the weekend either, so I still had to sort out all the stuff with the cats and make sure they were all fed and looked after and stuff. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like, I could possibly do this, but I'm going to be doing it on 4 or 5 hours sleep. And I thought, that's not going to happen. And then to top it all off, as previously mentioned, the aftermath of the hysteroscopy is that I've basically been having a period for 5 weeks, a heavy period. And of course, it ramped up to the next level Wednesday and that Thursday. And I thought, I cannot do all of those things. The washing machine's still full of clothes. There's stuff pulled out all over the kitchen because obviously I've had to access under the sink and everything. All the stuff, all the camping stuff's in the cupboard with stuff in front of it. It means I've got to pull all that out. And the prospect of doing all that and then going camping whilst basically having a really heavy, awful period, and then not being like shower facilities and things to sort of like take care of yourself, was just too much. As for I can't go. I can't go. So I had to not go. And it really pissed me off because I was really looking forward to it. So I spoke to the clinic and I told them what's going on. And they said, well, we think your HRT patches is basically activating the parts that previously had been asleep for 900 odd days. So come off your patches for about 6 weeks, and then that should stop all the bleeding and stuff, and bish bash bosh. And I was like, oh, okay. So on Friday I was supposed to change the patch, and I didn't. And then by Sunday I had to stop bleeding. It's do you know how happy I am about that? Massively happy. I couldn't believe it. It was like, unless you've dealt with this, you're not going to appreciate it. But it was great. I really hadn't missed it. And then instead I've dealt with it like hardcore for 5 weeks. And anyone who has like a normal period and how wiped out you are for 3 days to a week during your bleed, right? You'll understand this. You want certain types of food. You want to feed your face because you feel like crap, right? And it's because your body switches into needing a certain kind of nutrition, and that's a fact. And also, did you know that during your bleed you will consume, or your body requires 300 to 500 calories more a day, right? So not only is the Mounjaro reduced my appetite to a point where I am having 800 to 1,000 calories less a day than what I should be having to maintain and like run my body essentially. The chronic fatigue doesn't like not having enough energy to do stuff anyway, right? So I'm already lagging because I've not got enough calories in my body to feed the energy, right? And then you add this on top and it wants you to eat more calories to feed all the other things that are going on, but you're not, because you're not hungry, right? So I ended up so tired, I couldn't do anything. The other day I put a film on. I had only been awake for 4 hours, right? And I can get these in home bargains. They're like 50p at the moment. So what? And they're only about 3 calories, and they taste quite nice. But I had a can of that, sat down, started watching this film, thought, right, I'm going to sit down, relax, and then I'm going to crack on with what I've got to do. I woke up an hour later, I'd fallen asleep. And that's another thing, ADHD, stimulants don't affect us in that way. I know somebody who drinks like energy drinks and then will go to sleep. My son does it, and I've always like said no, don't do it, but it doesn't affect me in that way. So even with ADHD meds and with stimulant drinks, caffeine drinks, I've been so fucking tired because I've had not enough calories. I needed more calories and I couldn't consume more calories so I just let myself eat what I wanted to eat. And so, you know, when you want cheese on toast, or I didn't have any bread, but you want like cheese, you want bread, you want like dirty food, like maybe mac and cheese. Oh, mac and cheese. Didn't get mac and cheese though. Didn't have anything to make it because I hadn't bought any of that stuff shopping because I didn't have the need. I didn't want to. I didn't have the inspiration to cook, so I didn't. Go figure. Anyway, Saturday I had the third injection of 7.5 mg, and that was about 5 p.m. And in the evening, because I wasn't hungry, but I knew I had like 1,200 calories left of my allowance, and I hadn't had dinner, and I didn't want anything to eat, but I did want something to eat. I was craving dirty food because I was bleeding heavily and felt rotten, and I thought, right, what can I have to eat? And of course I didn't want to make anything either because I just felt so wiped out. So I had this humongous muffin, and I microwaved it, and I put some ice cream on top of it, and then it was just like chocolate cake and ice cream. It's like, yeah, this is good. However, eating foods that contain that kind of fat, because obviously muffins are made with oil, not butter, right? Even though I felt fine when I ate it, and even though I had loads of omeprazole and those peppermint tablets, and I felt okay and fine, not gripey or anything, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning with acid. It was just choking me from my stomach. Acid reflux. Yay! So after like gasping and going to the bathroom and just spitting out this, and I can describe it as when you're sick and you get that liquid that comes up, the bile, sort of like saliva. It was like that, but it was acid. It was fucking rank. You clean your teeth and you can still feel it, and it's just drink, and you'd have to prop your pillows right up because obviously as soon as you lay down, because you've got a leaky thingy, it's reflux esophagus, it seeps through. Now that doesn't happen for a long time, only when I've had this injection and had something that was fatty. So that video that I watched of that doctor saying about not having fatty foods on the day of your injection, I can verify that it's true. It's true. So yeah, I went to the gym, but then also I had to call in and cancel the gym as well because I was just too ill. I was exhausted, horribly constipated, which obviously was then affecting other things as well. Because being constipated will drain you of energy too. So I've ended up buying some senna, and I took a dose yesterday before bed, and I'm happy to report that everything is working as it should. And yes, I did weigh myself before and after, and so far I've already been I think there's a lot more to come, because you think about it, if you're eating so many pounds of food a day, yeah, a lot of the moisture in it is absorbed out into your gut, and then obviously passes as urine, etc. That's mass that's going in and not coming out. It's just sitting there and compressing into and then it hurts your stomach. It was hurting. I don't know. But I didn't have that big fat bloat. That was a thing. But I am very happy to report that I will be taking this more often because it's necessary. So if you are affected by constipation on Mounjaro or whatever jab you're doing, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, I did do the prunes thing. I would have had to eat quite a lot of prunes, I think, to get the same effect. It wasn't an unpleasant laxative effect. It was a normal, like how you would normally go to the toilet. It's too much information, but whatever. This is what it's about. This is the realities of when you choose to take drastic actions in the form of either medication or a fad diet, right? Now, I've done the fad diet thing before, many times, but I think this is the first time actually gone the medical route. Or it never occurred to me that I could do this myself, and I'd asked for help and it was denied. And I regret the fact that I hadn't done this a lot sooner. So if you're sitting on the fence, don't. You will get splinters. And it's uncomfortable. No one wants a splinter there. So weight-wise, at the end of week 11, after I'd had pretty much 2 weeks of no, I'm going to use the word movement in both senses of the word, on the weight. I mean, like week 10, it's like, it says 0.3 kilos. That's like 300 grams, which is 0 pounds, because I was so congested. However, I had noticed a big difference with the texture of my arms, as in they're more baggy. There's not so solid. I could feel it on my thighs. I keep rubbing my thighs and going, oh my god, do I order the next size clothes down? Right? And I could feel it on my legs. And it's like, wow. And then this part of my stomach here, it used to be quite protruding, and it's like, wow, that's really gone down. So whilst the scales are telling me that I haven't really lost much weight, my body is showing signs that I have. I mean, my face looks a lot less, yeah, even the old jiggly neck, there's less of that. So, and even my boobs, I am going to start weighing them just for a giggle, because I have to amuse myself with these things. Oh, did I tell you about the washing machine? I probably did tell you. It's just like 13 minutes. I probably told you about the washing machine. So yeah, I've had to pull this washing machine out, and the whole house is upside down. I've ended up having, I've gone on a tangent. I've come back to it, haven't I? Because I've already deleted 2 other videos, so I could have possibly talked about that in those ones I've deleted and not talked it in this one. And I don't really want to have to pause this, stop it, go back, watch what I've done to see where I'm catching up on. So just assuming that I've told you about the washing machine in the first few minutes, right? I'm not sure I did. My washing machine broke. It was full of clothes. I've had to manually drain it. On Thursday, that was it, Thursday. Yeah, I did, of course I did. ADHD! It fucking sucks. Fuck yeah. Anyway, so after having spent 2 hours on Thursday night, or the early hours of Friday morning, looking up stuff on YouTube, I worked out that it was the drain pump that had failed. So I thought, oh god, how? So then I watched the videos on how to fix it. I was like, oh, that's not too bad. Just like tipping it over, taking the base cover off, and there it is. And then I watched some other guy who literally took off the top, who took off the drawer, and I took off the whole of the front of the machine and the drum about. And it's like, what are you doing? It's literally, it's underneath. It's just, anyway. So I priced it up, and then I basically found it for like 40 quid. And then because I signed up for the newsletter, then I got an email saying, oh, here's 10% off. So I went, oh, thank you very much. And I used that 10% to expedite the delivery. So I got the delivery on Saturday. So then on Saturday, what I'm doing is my friend who does the injection come around, and he's helping me sort the laminate flooring out in the hallway, which has been sitting in my kitchen since February, and doing all of that, and failed, right? And I was so run down and so annoyed that he could only stay for a short time. So we've laid the under the foam sheet that you put down with the foil on. And then I thought, right, well, this is just simple. You can just like cut the things and da-da-da. And I was so run down. I just sat there, cried. I just cried and was like, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to cock this up. And then I'm going to be really annoyed, because then obviously that's money that I've ruined. And I was so burnt out, and my legs just were really hurting, that I thought, right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. And that's when I had the cake and the ice cream. And watched a film, and I tell you what, also the thing of going back to the Mounjaro jab, is that I've realised that it's like doing speed for me. I know it hasn't got the chemicals in it of that stuff, but I will be awake until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on the day of my jab because I have all this energy to do stuff, right? I'll go to bed really late on the jab. Anyway, back to Saturday. Instead of being in a field with my friends, being hooligans, drinking beer and just going moo at each other, you have to be there really. I was at 9 o'clock at night. I thought, right, well, fuck the flooring, because obviously I've been at this for a few hours. I've got absolutely nowhere. I've cut maybe a few pieces. So pathetic. And I just haven't kept stopping. I was so tired because I was just worn out, right? So emotional, and I was so fed up with bleeding all the time. I was so fed up with not being able to do stuff, and I really had it in my head that I was going to be able to do this, and then the reality hit me, and then you're like, oh, so pathetic. So I stopped. I knew that I needed to stop, so I did. Where was I going with this? So yeah, then I get to like 10 o'clock at night. I'm thinking, oh, you still not done the washing machine. So the washing machine, I've had to pull it out. I've had to get the hose, right? I've tested all the hose, make sure it's thingy and clear, and then it wouldn't drain at all because it wasn't level and it wouldn't manually drain. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. So then I've had to get the filter and then jack up the washing machine, put something underneath it so it's the right height, then get a bowl underneath the main thing and open it up a little bit, and it just goes out through. That's why I don't drink fizzy stuff. Comes through the filter hole. And I had to do that. And then I had to lay the machine down. I took off. I couldn't get the base off. I had to go to the shed, get the drill. Because I couldn't, they were machine torqued in, even though they were little teeny tiny screws. So I got the base off, and then it was just 3 screws, popped off the thing, popped on the other thing, did the 3 screws back up, put the base back on, stood it up, connected it all back up to the water and the waste pipe and stuff, which is why it's still pulled out. And I thought, right, I can put the machine on. No lights. I was like, where's the power? What's wrong with the power? Is the fuse spur gone? No. So I unplugged it from underneath and I plugged it into the other socket, which I knew was working. Nothing. It's like, there's no lights on the dash. What the fuck? So I get the plug. I took the fuse out. I put a new fuse in. Still nothing. It's, oh, for fuck's sake, what's going on? Then I watched about. I'm back on YouTube looking up what's going on, because you Google it, right? Why has the machine got no power? It had power before. So I did that, and then this guy says, oh, there's a little fuse underneath it. So I took the top off. Can't see the fuse. Can't see the fuse at all. So, oh, for fuck's sake. Pushed it back in, and then I started looking for new washing machines. And I'm thinking, I really have not got the money to buy another fucking washing machine. This is like 5 years old. It was supposed to be an investment. It's a good brand, and it hasn't let me down so far. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I've just had enough, I've just fucking had enough. My house is a bomb site. Under the sink, you've got all your little thingies, all your washing stuff and all your cleaning things and stuff you don't know what to do with, like, bits of U-bend and stuff. All of that's all over the kitchen. The tumble dryer, look, the tumble dryer is in my fucking front room. So the washing machine is pulled out. Still not put it away. The microwave that sits on top of the tumble dryer is on the counter. There is stuff everywhere. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go sit down. So when I sat down, and then I went back and tested it out. I think I watched like Taskmaster or something. Come back like half hour later. And boop, it turned on, and I googled it, right? I had googled it, and at no point does it say that after the machine's been laying down, there must be like I have it on motorbikes. So we've got a sensor that if it goes over, that it cuts out. Basically, it's a safety thing, right? So the washing machine had been laying down at pretty much almost to the floor, because I put it on some towels to sort of, it wasn't completely flat. And I think it needs to be standing up for half an hour. There is nothing on the Samsung website. There's nothing anywhere with this information. But clearly there must be a position sensor within the machine that doesn't allow it to start for after a half hour or so of it being horizontal. So there you go. And it was like, thank fuck for that. So then I ran it through a test program and it drained. I was so happy. I had to manually drain this fucking thing about 6 times. So that's what I did on Saturday instead of going to see my friends. So whilst I'm doing all that, obviously I'm not eating properly either. I'm not hungry. I'm just not hungry at all. And I don't mind that. But then I know that I need energy. I need those calorie intake to run my body, to be able to function. And it affects your head. It affects my chronic illnesses, not having the calories that I need to run my body. And even the gym with their BMR flipping machine is 1900, and I'm pretty much doing, where is it? That was week 10. I had a lot more calories. This week, I'm averaging, I don't know, 1700 calories a day. So I'm like in a mad deficit. Between week 10 and week 11, I've done over 1,000 calories less, and I've done less because I've just so burnt out from not eating and not having the calories. So yeah, I don't think these are going to be typical of people who do this jab. I think it is very typical of me. If you have chronic illness, I think you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware that, you know, you are the way you are for a reason. And yeah, there's the whole bad association with food and drink and stuff, which might have contributed to your weight gain over the years. But if you're disabled, it also makes it very difficult to lose weight. So if you're like disabled and you can't move as much as you want to, you're going to be gaining weight because you're not using the energy up that you're taking into your body, right? So that is why it sneaks on. That's why suddenly you get to 20 stone and it's like, what the fuck happened there? Because the other day I wasn't, and then you realise the other day was 10 stone. And I had a mad thought earlier. I was trying to remember last time I was not fat. As in like proper fat, not what you think is fat. And when I was 19, I gained 6 stone in a year from the munchies, right? So I got up to 17 stone. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking mental. And I was trying to remember the last time I was a size 14. And I can't, not as an adult, and I'm 49. And the thought of the hope of hitting that number is just like, yes. So yeah, end of week 11. I've lost 1 kilo. I feel now now I have stopped bleeding, I've started to feel better. My energy levels have started to return, though I feel like I'm a bit more nauseous, but then I think that might be to do with the constipation as well and the IBS. I already have these conditions, so I can't really compare. But I mean, I made a bacon and an egg pita bread for breakfast and I didn't want to eat it all. I have found that protein shakes are very good because you might not want to eat, but you will drink. Yeah, you've got no problem with drink. Oh god, yeah, I forgot to say. My big fuck off cups of tea, yeah? I cannot drink a whole big fuck off cup of tea anymore. I don't know how to feel about this. I love my tea. And now I get this big mug and it's like, I should have got a little mug. No! No, this is wrong. But anyway, other than my lack of tea, which is criminal, maybe that's why I feel bad. But protein shakes are great. and you can pick up the powder really cheaply in like Home Bargains and stuff. So I can't really do a lot of milk, so I get the almond milk or the rice milk that you get. It's nice and cheap. You get it in Aldi and Lidl, other places do it. And I have that with a scoop of protein powder, and then I've got some frozen fruit, and then you can throw a banana in there. You can throw a scoop of peanut butter in there if you want, and you know, blitz it up, and there you go. You've got your protein, you've got your fibre and bits and pieces in there that you want, and it's about 300 calories if you're loading it up with stuff. It's just, you know what I mean? You need calories to run your body, okay? So don't be a dick. Just go and learn about nutrition, because it will undo you if you just go in too hard, honestly. This is why the Slim Fast shakes, the powder is actually a good place to start until you get going, because it's 14 or 15 grams of protein, which is not a great deal. However, it does have your vitamins and your protein and fibre and other bits and pieces in it, and it's easy. It's just literally, there's your liquid, 2 scoops, boff, you're done. And you can always put a banana in there like I used to, and it's thick as well, so it fills you up. So if you want to start but you don't know where to start, I mean, Home Bargains is £8 for a big tin. I mean, you can't go wrong really. And the thing with the protein powders is some of them taste like shit. I've bought this bag of protein powder, and every time I have it, it's like, well, I've bought it, so I've got to use it. But it's not unpleasant. It's just not enjoyable to consume, which is why I end up filling it up with frozen berries and stuff to sort of change the flavour profile on it. I think the nicest protein powder that I've had is the RH Fitness one, but it's £30 a kilo, which is still quite cheap as far as protein powders go, but it's £30 that I don't really want to spend on protein powder when I can spend £12. And the reason why it's £12, though it is only £12 in Home Bargains, it'd probably be double that everywhere else, is because it's not as good. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. Go with what works for you. All right, now we're on 30 minutes. Anyway, so that's me fucking off. I am heading into week 12. So far, I'm looking at about 7 kilo loss since the start, which is a stone. I've lost a stone and a bit. So yeah, chuffed with that. I've lost more. I could feel it more than I can see it on the scales, and I think I'd see better numbers on the scales if I hadn't been so constipated. So don't get beat up about that, and definitely get as much fibre in as you can, even though you're not hungry and you don't want to eat. And if you can't get your fibre in, then contemplate I don't know, adding some fibrous stuff to your shakes, which will help. There's ways of doing it, and somebody out there is better trained than me. Anyway, that's now 30 minutes. I will see you soon. As soon as I go abroad, though, so it's another 2 weeks. I will not be weighing. I will not be tracking. I'll just be doing. I'll still be doing the jabs. I'll be away, and my steps will be through the roof. There'll be like stupid amount of steps a day, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand on the scales and be either very surprised, pleasantly, or horribly. I don't know. But yeah, I think initially I'm going to start talking again now. With when you start this off, you want to talk about stuff, right? So I mean, I've done 11 weeks of this now, right? How much more is there to say apart from the odd update of, hi, this is me now, and this is what it looked like, and this is how I'm doing. I mean, because I've got it into the routine of doing things now. So you probably won't even need to hear that much from me, to be fair. So maybe this 3-week break would be good for you and for me. Because I hadn't even thought about doing videos, and then I suddenly thought, oh God, 2 weeks gone by and I should really do one. So there you go. That's why this one's so long. But it doesn't matter. If you stay to the end, thank you very much. And if you've ever considered doing it and you'd like to try, there should be a code in my description which will give you 10% off
everything off Asda dispensary, and it's not just the fatjab. I think you can get it off everything you order online for their dispensary. It's all legit. They're all proper doctors, and it's not badly priced either. There are cheaper ones out there, but some of them aren't legit, so just be very careful. See you later. And yes, I've had all my hair cut off. Did I mention that? I did. I probably did. Yeah, anyway, you can see it. It's going to be purple. It's going to be awesome. And it looks like crap right now because I haven't done it. And you know what? I don't care. It's not the end of the world. Noot noot, motherfuckers. Bye.